This day in Sioux Falls history.
This day in Sioux Falls history is brought to you by Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry, the oldest jewelry store in South Dakota, using time-tested techniques to restore and repair jewelry and using the latest technology to create custom pieces. Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry, 325 South Phillips Avenue in downtown Sioux Falls. It was on this day, April 30th, 1974, that we had some national news in South Dakota. Broken windows, turned over courtroom furniture, blaring sirens, fatal car accidents, tear gas, and SWAT teams, as well as cooler heads. Wise decision-making and true leadership all made an appearance at the federal trial of individuals connected with the Wounded Knee occupation out West River a year earlier. In short, internal disputes among Ogallala Sioux on the Pine Ridge Reservation became national news when the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and local law enforcement got involved. Over 200 residents of the Pine Ridge Reservation, along with leaders of the American Indian Movement, Russell Means and Dennis Banks, occupied the town of Wounded Knee in protest after a failed attempt to impeach tribal president Richard Wilson. He'd been accused of voter fraud, nepotism, corruption, and intimidation, while his private militia, named the Guardians of the Ogallala Nation, were accused of much worse. With the arrival of federal agents, the entire area erupted in a 71-day occupation of the town, leading to a nationwide news story and broadening the protest to include AIM's mission to win equality for all Native Americans, including renegotiation of treaties with the U.S. government. In the end, one U.S. Marshal was shot and paralyzed, 2 Native Americans, 1 Ogallala Sioux, and 1 Cherokee were killed, and an African-American activist who had joined the protesters in Wounded Knee went missing, presumed dead. As a part of the legal fallout from the incident, 5 of the protesters had federal charges brought against them, and they were scheduled to stand trial in Sioux Falls. A contingent of supporters for the men on trial refused to stand when the judge entered the room, eventually leading the police in riot gear to be called in to forcibly remove the defiant members of the audience. Upon the arrival of the police, a full-force melee broke out. Windows were broken, furniture overturned. 10 individuals, both Native American and white, were taken to the hospital for treatment. 2 men were killed when their vehicle was struck by a police car hurrying to the scene. Washington High School, which was still located downtown, was completely on lockdown, while students at Cathedral, a little bit further away from the action, were dismissed early to get straight home. Policemen were stationed throughout the area while police cars and vehicles filled with protesters sped up and down the streets of Sioux Falls for much of the afternoon. No further incidents took place as city leaders, as well as Russell Means, were able to calm down the respective sides and prevent things from spiraling any further. This day in Sioux Falls history has been brought to you by Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry.
Hi, this is Thomas James with Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry. We're absolutely honored to be able to look back on the history of Sioux Falls because we feel we're part of that. But we always look forward to the future and working with your grandchildren. It's more than jewelry, it's love. Come and see us at Thomas James and Bechtold Jewelry at 325 South Phillips Avenue, downtown Sioux Falls.